Just the start of the news review. I am pleased to introduce to you, ladies and gentlemen, our guests. First, Dr. Kwame Asante. He is a political scientist and head of the Center for European Studies at the University of Ghana. He joins the conversation. We also have Kojo Poku, an energy analyst, joining the conversation. He is also head of the Energy Committee or Energy Manifesto Group of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. Both of them join us for a conversation. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning, Ben. How are you?
I am well. It's good to have you join the conversation. I want to start very quickly by... Kojo, we don't have that much time today, so I'm going to go straight into it. I want to start briefly by taking your thoughts on any pertinent matters. It could be the media budget review from yesterday or other surrounding matters. I'll start with you, Dr. Asante.
Yes, Ben. Thanks for pronouncing the name correctly. Yes.
Thank you.
I will look at the Fitch Solutions report about the fact that the NDC, according to their report, is likely to win the election and the rest of them. When we are getting into elections like this, surveys will come. It gives, obviously, one party will be seen in the report having won the election and the rest of them. But what is my advice is that political parties should not discount such reports. All that you do is you look at them and then you work very hard so as to make your party better. This is a research that they've done, and it costs a lot to undertake research. So when somebody does something like this, an institution like this, you don't discount them. You work with it. Even if they're saying you are winning, you continue to work and make sure that at the end of the day, you will get victory. The one that report says that, look, you are not winning, you need to what? Take it, work on, and then turn your fortunes around to make things better. It tells you that there's a lot, but that takes us to what? Some of the issues that the report turned out. One, that the election will be fought based on the economy. This has been the issue over the years, and it's not going to change. So I expect the political actors, particularly NDC, MPP, and the rest of them, to make themselves available to answer the hard economic questions, the hard unemployment questions, and the rest of them. We want the campaign to be civil, decorous, and without any insult. I have said that anybody who begin to insult or attack, it means you lack argument. If you have argument, bring it forward, and we are going to interrogate, and we're going to be part of it.
Thank you very much, Doc, for sharing those thoughts. Let me come to Kojo Poku. Your quick thoughts?
Well, Ben, greetings from what I was trying to greet you and you cut me off. I mean, that's all.
My apologies. Because of time, I'm trying to make everything snip.
Look, my big brother talks about Fitch report. Let us all discount these fake polls for what is the contempt they deserve. I mean, why, as I speak to you, we've been in all the constituencies and we are on the ground campaigning. The other side is not. And we know what the ground is telling us. On the 7th of December, the good people of Ghana will see the good work and the hard work that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is doing. I don't want these echo chamber discussions that people are having in Accra. They should move out of Accra and come to the ground as we are in Accra, as we are on the ground, and they would see what the ground is telling them. Let me not spend time on that. I'm sure as we discuss the good and the improvement on the economy during the budget, some of these things that I want to talk about will come. But the most important thing for me is the good, innovative policy that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is coming up with, and I'm sure it's been the topic of debate with these cell phones, where he has said, because we are going to have a good credit system in Ghana, people can now get their cell phones. Network providers will give phones to customers, and they'll pay over time. And people are making a mockery of it on social media. Look, it is people who don't think are the people who can't achieve. And the MPP team and the Dr. Bawumia campaign...
Kojo Poku, my apologies. I'll make up for the time I'm going to take from here. Can you say what you're saying without suggesting that those who disagree with you don't think?
No, because when people are making a mockery, I'm saying that people who are making a mockery of the suggestion are the people who are not thinking. I'm not saying everybody is not thinking. But if somebody comes out and say that, look, I'm going to basically bring an innovation that will make people buy phones and pay over time. And people are saying that, oh, he's saying that you are going to buy a phone and pay over 500 years. I mean, where does that come from? Somebody makes a suggestion that you can pay 1 cedi a month. Okay, it's possible that there are some phones that cost very cheap and you can pay 1 cedi a month. But let's not make mockery of people's innovative ideas. That's the point I'm trying to make.
All right, thank you very much. 1 cedi though, even abroad, how much would you pay? Likely $9.99, 5 something for some of these products. What kinds of phones are they? But anyway. I'm going to leave this.
You seem to have doubt, so go ahead.
Yes, time. But let me just make this point. And I think it's always a problem for me the way political parties do this. In the past, when institutions from the UK and others, including Fitch, have given their reports about what they think, of course, it's a survey, what they think, I think it's been appreciated when it leans this way. But now it's what, wishy-washy? Anyway, let's get into the papers.
The same report that made Hillary Clinton lose elections, that same kind of survey, that
the Daily Guide
go to Michigan and Pennsylvania.
The Daily Guide this morning. Nana commissions 320 police housing unit. Supreme Court affirms Bank of Ghana revocation of unique credit license. 9.9 billion Ghana cedis spent on free SHS as economy rebounds. NDC destroys posters of Adenta NPP candidate. Otumfuo chats with King Charles, and Tor will work again. Crapper assures. You know, sometimes when I read headlines from some papers, and I read just headlines generally, I begin to ask myself whether we are just, okay, I can't use that word, but whether we are just gullible as a people or whether we really want to hold the feet of our leaders to the fire of accountability. Anyway, let me get into the stories. My thoughts are mine and mine alone. You can also share yours. So the Minister of Finance, Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam, has disclosed that a total of over 9.9 billion Ghana cedis has been spent on the free SHS program. According to him, the impact of the program is evident, with the initiative having benefited a cumulative total of 5.7 million young people, many of whom may not have had this opportunity. It goes on and on. It talks about the capitation grant. The finance minister noting that to ease the financial burden on parents and guardians of public basis school pupils, the government disbursed about 38 million Ghana cedis as capitation grant for the first half of 2024 to ensure schools had adequate resources to provide quality education. He talks about school feeding, which has had its own problems, myriad problems. He talks about LEAP as well. Then there is Nana Commission's 320 police housing units. So President Akufo-Addo has commissioned 320 new housing units for the Ghana Police Service at the Accra Police Depot in Tesano. This milestone, which is a testament to the government's dedication to improving living conditions for security personnel, marks a pivotal step in bolstering national security and safety. So that is that. Let me see whether I want to do this story on Tor because it's one that really interests me. If you notice at the Mahama confab at Kempinski, my question, the first one was based on Tor. So the Minister of State for the Ministry of Energy, Herbert Crapper, has given the strongest assurance that government would ensure that the Tema oil refinery concluded the process of securing a strategic partner within the next 90 days for it to commence full operations. He indicated that the government was committed to ensuring that the state refinery was revamped to refine products to provide both the local and international markets and generate revenue for the state through the provision of, quote, capital, technology, and efficiency. Like I said, this country. Anyway, and also on page 6, that's the last one I'll do, so you can share your thoughts on them. NDC destroys posters of Adenta MPP candidate. A recent incident in the Adenta constituency has raised concern about political sabotage and intimidation. Some unknown persons believed to be supporters of the incumbent NDC, yet you splash on the front page of the paper NDC, not believed to be NDC. NDC Member of Parliament and be supporters of the incumbent National Democratic Congress Member of Parliament Mohammed Adamu Ramadan are alleged to have been behind the destruction of the campaign posters and billboards belonging to Akosia Asame Nukozi, the New Patriotic Party's parliamentary candidate. I'll throw that. I want you to start from there, Dr. Asa Asante, because the NDC just a few days ago, and I even interacted with Joyce Bawa Mokhtari, also mentioned how some of theirs had been, in fact, one had been pulled down completely, another had been blocked, others have been defaced ahead of the political campaign. What does this mean? And then you can get into the other stories. Dr. Asa Asante.
Yes, I think if what you are reading is anything to go by, I don't think it's a good thing, because one of the ingredients for free and fair election is that there must be an equal playing field for everybody to participate. And so one means by which political parties participate in election is they file their posters, they campaign and all that. So you have no business to destroy anybody's poster. So that should cease. And I believe that those who engage in that, as soon as we lay hands on them, we hand them over to the police so that we ensure sanity. This thing costs a lot of money, so we don't expect any human being to go near it. The only thing you can do about it is just go and read. If you are not interested in reading the poster, shy away from the poster. By destroying it, it doesn't make sense to me at all. People should desist for them. And I will urge the political parties also to be vigilant about that and then apprehend those who are corporate and hand them over to the police.
All right. Any reflections on the other stories? TOR.
Yes.
And then
TOR.
The budget
review.
Unfortunate.
It is unfortunate that TOR is where it is. If you look at that facility and the benefits that it gives to the country, I'm not sure we will be able to handle it the way we have handled it. Very unfortunately, but better late than never. I want to believe that the government will walk the talk and then make sure that they bring TOR to its original status and be able to help contribute its quota to this economy. We need it so much. It's a very valuable facility that we can't allow it to rot. That about that. Let me move on to free SHS. It is good that the government has spent so much in such a program. There is no doubt that the program is very good, but it has produced a lot of results. That as a teacher in the university, I've seen a lot of products from that. But the lingering challenges, I want government to be able to fix them. Issue of school feeding. I don't understand why it should be a problem where backyard gardens can be encouraged and all that. If we are able to,
wait, Doc, are the school farms still in existence?
I'm not sure, but there's one clear way by which you and I have said that government can, take advantage of and then help deal with these problems. When you and I were in secondary schools, we had school farms that produce a number of foodstuff for the dining. And if we apply ourselves very well to this, we should be able to pump in more resources, do that, and then the school can feed itself and generate IGF when they sell to what? The communities, So this shouldn't be a problem for schools at all. We want government to be able to fix some of the challenges such as this and then the rest of them so that this policy, which is a good one, will stay forever. I support it, and I believe that anything that we have to do it very fast to be able to make it work better.
Well, maybe Gen Zs are not supposed to read. You never know. That could be another bit in there. But I don't know whether you want to touch on Nana commissioning 320 police housing units. I've heard the IGP
yes,
laud him. You can quickly talk about that, and I'll get to Kojo.
That is another beautiful project. We have, it's a good project government is undertaking. I support it. But my caution is that people who are going to use this should maintain it. This country, the culture of maintenance is a problem. So things that we put our resources in, we want to ensure value for money. Let us cultivate a habit of what? Maintaining it by all higher standards. That is what is supposed to be. On that score, then we'll be able to assure ourselves that we are getting value for money. But for me, it's a good project and that we should maintain it.
There are many things I'll, with my tongue, lash the president on, but on this, I cannot but doff my hat to him for it. I remember about a year and a half ago, some police officers sent me in private. It had rained, and if you see the situation they were in, some of them, water had taken over everything, including electricals and everything. So these things, definitely positives, and we salute the president for that. Kojo Poku.
Well, thank you, Ben. Look, the Free Senior High School has been a God-brought intervention. It's worked so well that the naysayers are now coming in with their chest up trying to take credit for introducing Free Senior High School, which all Ghanaians know that is not true. Look, the good thing that we are not even talking about is how Free Senior High School has helped the girl child. Before 2017, out of every 100 boys, you will get about 68 females going to senior high school. Today, out of every 100, you get 108 girls going to senior high school. So it's actually really helped the girl child to go to school. A good thing again is that if you look at the enrollment and the regions that benefit a lot from these enrollment is the northern, 5 northern regions. They top the enrollment now into secondary schools. So look, overwhelmingly, the country has spoken, and everybody, if you see the enthusiasm of the kids and the young ones want to get involved in this program and the activities that we are doing, it tells you that the Free Senior High School has worked well, and every bit of the money spent is worth it. Yes, there are challenges with the feeding and all that, and Dr. Bawumia has promised to fix those things. Let me go to TOR. Look, it's unfortunate that whenever government has remedy for a problem, you get some of my brothers in civil society, there were unions at TOR that were fighting the Torenco transaction, citing that there were other competing transactions that were not being given the same attention. The Torenco people withdrew their transaction, and that's it. There's nothing. So there is a tendency for people to fight every initiative and every policy government was to put on.
Somehow government could do what has happened in Central together with the Chinese, but we can't do it for TOR, right?
No, government has not done anything in Central. All government did was under one district, one factory.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes, but no private. Have you heard any private sector person coming in to say that they want to basically do one district, one factory with TOR? Government is the 100% shareholder of TOR. Central is a private investment. So when you say that we've done something with Central, we can't do for TOR, what does that mean?
Was there equipment belonging to TOR that was being used by Central or loaned to Central for some reasons?
And this was done by the workers, the very workers who are at TOR today, destabilizing and objecting.
And this was done under the supervision of a certain government, right? Which was supposed to know better.
The government has always worked hard through the minister, through the board, to introduce transaction advisors, to introduce companies to work at TOR. The union, some union, at all has always fought these things because the workers know why they are doing that. As you clearly said, they are taking equipment from TOR to Central. And this is on the blind side of management. And some of us have talked about it. But the point I'm making is that, look, there is a new attempt to find partnership for TOR. There has been a short list of companies that are supposed to come in. We are going to look at the companies that have been shortlisted, and we are going to select the appropriate company to basically partner TOR. And this time around, we want to see which union members that will come out to make the noise.
I don't know whether you watched. I'm just saying this for you, gentlemen. In the course of the news, we spoke about Comenda and the promises made and how we have even expended another, 52 million Ghana cedis in addition to everything else, yet nothing to show. My simple take, Comenda and TOR, no difference. Go ahead, Kojo.
Well, I don't know about Commander Ben. I'm talking about TOR, and I think you should let me double.
Yeah, it's my analogy, not yours. Go ahead.
The Adenta seat is going to be won. My sister Cozy is working so hard, and we will win back that Delta seat. It doesn't matter if they take out all the posters, they take out all the billboards. There's nothing they can do with the wave of change in Adenta. My sister Akosia Menu is going to win that seat, and with the help of his grassroots support, the seat is coming back home. So I think that, look, these things are unfortunate when people are taking down posters and billboards. It has no place in politics. We should condemn it on both sides. If anybody is doing it on the MPP side, we should condemn it. On the NDC side, it should be condemned. Thank you.
And indeed, they are condemnable on both sides. I was just reiterating that, interestingly, for the sake of our politics, just a few days ago, you had the NDC crying that in the Tema area, and supposedly supported by the TMA, as someone working with within the TMA. So it's going to be a legal case. And now on the other side, I'm just saying, to ensure fairness, peace, why can't we just avoid these things, like pulling down? I mean, if the person has paid, put the thing up, why do we have to do these things? It doesn't matter whose ox is what.
I have a challenge when TMA does an action and is blamed on the MPP. It's got nothing to do with the MPP.
It is not TMA. I said someone working with the TMA.
No,
I didn't say TMA.
The story says TMA. The story that came out was they said TMA.
It is a member of the MPP.
Down billboards and they blame the MPP.
Story says member of the MPP. Let's get it right. Member of the MPP. But let's get into other stories very quickly. The new find of newspaper, 30 billion Ghana cedis disbursed in 6 months. Then we've done some of these other stories, so I'll not go there. Media budget uninspiring, scrap taxes, Ato Forson says so. Next government faces significant challenges from 2026. That's according to Setekwe. I would even say from 2025, right after any government takes over. I don't know. and honestly, you have to, in a way, pity whoever will take over the reins of Ghana from 2025. It's not going to be an easy job. And then road tolls, property tax to be reintroduced in 2025. That's according to Dr. Amin. So let me start from the start, go very quickly. Minority leader Dr. Cassio Ato Forson has criticized the 2024 media budget, describing it as uninspiring and hopeless. Reacting to the media budget review, he expressed his concerns to the media, urging Ghanaians to brace for more hardship. The Ejumako Enyan Esia, member of parliament, argued that the government missed an opportunity to provide relief by abolishing certain taxes which could have cushioned Ghanaians and businesses alike. He goes on to highlight the unemployment rate and the unbearable cost of living as key issues facing the country. It goes on and on. You can grab details from that newspaper. Then on page 4, road tolls, property tax to be reintroduced in 2025. That's according to the finance minister. And he has announced this. The minister made this announcement during the media budget review. He says the integrated property tax system aims to synthesize data from ministries, departments, and agencies, lands valuation, the Electricity Company of Ghana, and other relevant government agencies to create a comprehensive digital property record database. Then there are the road tolls as well. Like we had in our news today, some people asking, okay, bring in the road tolls back, not a problem, but just don't increase them. We saw a list of likely changes from some time in the past. And some are also asking, what are these road tolls used for? Finally, and this is the last story I will do as we get ready to wrap the conversation. Next government faces significant challenges from 2026. Former Finance Minister Setekwe has expressed concerns about the significant challenges the next administration will face starting in 2026 when the suspension of debt payments will end. He believes that Ghana has postponed problems that will only worsen in the future. He cautioned against repeating past mistakes such as hiding debt or mismanaging energy projects and emphasized the need for honest reflection and accountability. That's where I'm going to end. You can pick and choose one, maximum 2 stories to reflect on. I'll start with you, Kojo Poko.
Well, hiding debt, Setakwe, he knows all about that, doesn't he? When he was a finance minister, that was his modus operandi, hiding debt. They had 2 systems of debt that they had.
Before you go on, we have a little additional time, so you can take more time if you need it. to reflect
Okay,
on
thank you
those
very
risks?
much. Thank you very much. Like I said, he will know all about hiding debt because that was his modus operandi when he was finance minister. Look, the good thing is that we are rebounding as a country. From the budget that was read yesterday, it is good news for every Ghanaian. The microeconomics, everything is pointing in the right direction. I'm surprised when Honorable Atufosin will talk about scrapping of taxes. When a finance minister normally is coming to read the media budget, we are all scared because normally they come for new requests. They come to now look for more money based on what they have read in November. They think that, look, things didn't go so well, so I'm going to ask for new money. This budget, the minister said that I'm not asking for new money. There's no new appropriation. In fact, because we've been able to have
that is not a novelty, Kojo. Plus,
well,
both members of the majority and minority have said that
Ben,
Ghanaians will not even tolerate that. So don't make this appear to be some magic being done.
There were times that we will not tolerate it, and some government did it. So that one is neither here nor here, neither here nor there. The point I'm making is that the government, right? He has done well, living within budget. And the good news is that by end of year, if we go in the same trajectory, we'll have a 0.5% of GDP surplus, which is a good thing. Right? Let's not belittle everything that is achieved in some of these things. Government was having challenges balancing its budget. In 2024, if all goes well, according to our honorable and well-spoken Minister of Finance, we will for once in a very long time have a budget surplus of 0.5% of GDP, which is a good thing. Let's applaud it. When people say that it is going to be a hard year going forward, the hard year is all around us. Price change, everything that is happening around the world affects Ghana. Let's not always look at Ghana as an island. And in fact, going forward, I want every Ghanaian to understand that the government is doing its best. The toll and the toll situation, let me explain quickly and remind Ghanaians why the tolls are coming back. You remember that the tolls were abolished and replaced with e-levy. I'm sure everybody remembers that. The e-levy, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has said that when he's president, he will abolish the e-levy. So the toll has to come back. And the toll is not coming back in its old form. There's a new framework under which the toll is going to come. There is going to be a revamp of private-public partnership, PPP. We are going to build roads. Private sector is going to build roads, and the toll collected for those roads to be paid back to the private sector. So we are not going to do the same thing as where the toll roads collection was put in the consolidated fund. No, the public-private partnership that's going to be put in place, those tolls that are going to be introduced. And you're not going to see the toll booths again. Okay, this is a new innovation as done in other worlds. The tolls are electronic. You buy, you go through, it reads. So we are not going to do the toll booths. We are not going to do all the things that was there. There's a new framework that is going to be introduced. The most important thing is that in the next administration, which God willing will be led by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, he wants to reduce our expenditure by 30 billion Ghana cedis, about 3% of GDP. And that means that 30 billion has to be done by the private sector. And that is why the toll, if you see in the budget, it said it will be done in 2025, when the new framework is put in place, and basically we'll be able to charter a new path for the development of Ghana.
I'll just humbly say, as I move on to Dr. Asante, if we knew how to save $30 billion, I'm sure we'd be doing it by now. Dr. Asante, over to you.
When a new person is
Dr.
president,
Asante, over to you. You have the floor, Dr. Asante.
Ben, it's not fair. Don't
Dr.
say these
Asante, please go ahead.
Yes, Ben, if you look at the road toll that the government want to bring back, I ask myself, why did they take it off in the first place?
No one knows.
I've explained to you why they took it off. I've explained why they took it off. Why
Please. You think I don't have the right to ask a question? You think so?
No, but I
please.
Kojo, when you spoke, when you were speaking, he didn't interject. I interjected. He didn't interject you. Allow him to make his point.
I did not. And that it was not planned properly. Because the little things, money we're getting from that facility, was, blown away. But this is something that was helping us one way or the other. So, yes, now that the government has reflected upon it, decided to improve it better. But next time, when you put a public policy in place, there's a proper way of evaluating it. And then if you want to take it off, then you have gone through all the process. You realize that it was just a knee-jerk reaction, and it was not the best. I am happy they are bringing it back, and they're going to create employment for people and all that. I was also surprised that property tax scheme that they introduced, a beautiful one. I was in my house, they came and then took pictures, we put all our document in, and then we paid. And then only to find that they said the people who are not, that contract have been abrogated and all that. I thought that that was a beautiful scheme, that yes, they will come to your home, take all the statistics, your neighbors and all that. And it was generating a lot of resources. For me as a political scientist, when you are generating resources, I am happy with it because it's part of what the state capacity, the ability of the state to raise revenue, to run its own affairs. But when all that we are worried about is some of these things, the way it is managed, but how the resources are used. Because yes, much as you want to take, we want to also see how you utilize those resources. So I'm happy they are bringing it back. It will bring a lot of resources to the state so that the state can use it for developmental purposes. I think that's a good one.
Okay. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your reflections. The other papers, the Ghanaian publisher talking about some of what we've seen. Also, Roman Catholic Church honors on Honorable Collins in team. And cervical cancer can be eliminated if prioritized. Those are some stories. And then the Custodian newspaper also regurgitating some of what we've already seen. But it also says government pays 12 billion Ghana cedis to bond holders. And those are some of the stories. Final words, gentlemen. Not more than 30 seconds. We have to go. Kojo Poku, I'll start with you.
Well, Ben, the reason I interjected is that when somebody has given an answer to a question, there's no point answering that question again. I said, and everybody remember, that the reason the tolls were taken away, it was because of the introduction of the e-levy. So if somebody asks that, they don't know why the tolls were taken away. I've already told you why it was taken away, and it became a matter of national debate that the tolls were being taken away.
Kojo, I think I recall a point where you shared with me, whether on air or otherwise, and you can correct me if memory does not serve, that you did not think that the mere fact that we had the e-levy meant that we should scrap the road tolls. And I could fish for it. Are you standing by that?
I agree. No, I agree. But I'm just saying, Ben, I am saying that, I, Kojo Poku, am pro-tax, right? So I agree with you, and I shared that with you, and I published it, that we shouldn't have scrapped the tolls. We shouldn't have, right? But the reasoning that was given at the time by the finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, was that because we are introducing the e-levy, that is why we are scrapping the toll. I disagreed with that. I'm not saying I agree with it, but I'm saying that we should all put it in context why it is being brought back, that the e-levy is being scrapped, so it's not extra tax. User taxes are always good because it goes and it's directed.
All right. Thank you. Doc, final words. 30 seconds.
Ben, I want Mr. Poku to know that when I have my opinion, I have the right to say it. So I'm posing a question because the reason he's talking about, I also did listen, which the minister said that based on what the environment, they were keeping the place so dirty and all. You recall that. That also is what I also know. So, and I speak for myself, right? All that I'm saying that yes, the things that government promised to do, we want to see government is able to do them. And at the end of the day, make sure that we have value for money. This country, a lot of times we waste resources and then go around looking for resources to come and build what? The little that we have, let's manage it well and use it to run our own affairs. That is all that I can say.
Gentlemen, we're so grateful that you took the time to join us this morning. Dr. Kwame Asante is a political scientist. He is also head of the Center for European Studies at the University of Ghana. Kojo Poku is an energy analyst. He also heads the manifesto committee of the Dr. Bawumia campaign in terms of energy-related issues. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Happy birthday.
Thank you,
Let's celebrate some people now, just one person. Happy birthday to Mrs. Linda Asabia Fojo. Mrs. Linda Asabia Fojo, CEO of Cakes and Cookies Plus. Grow in leaps and bounds and stand tall as a woman of substance in your generation. Age gracefully. It's from your love, Kwejo Fojo, and the children. Our very own Listerwell Kwejo. Fojo. He says, we love you, from he himself and the kids. There's also, I had to acknowledge, Alitha Gua, you say, good morning, love watching, greetings from Liberia. I've noticed the trend of a number of you watching from Liberia. I could say my third country. We celebrate you. Thank you for watching.